Yo.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marcus Dietz. This is the Marcus and Rob and Marcus.
We hate wrestling.
We hate it. It's terrible. It sucks. It pisses us off and annoys us.
Screw you, Vince McMahon.
Thank you. I've been saying that for years.
And Tony Khan and Nick Khan and Triple H. I didn't say somebody else. I said Triple H.
Okay. Why'd you say Tony Khan? Why are you mad at Tony?
I don't know. I just threw it.
Oh, okay.
I actually like Tony
You know what?
Khan.
Everybody can suck it. Everybody sucks.
If Tony Khan wants to do a bump with me, I'll do a bump with Tony Khan.
All right, that's enough. Rob, what are you mad about wrestling this week? What's really pissing you off this week?
They're doing storylines all around that are leading up to, I think, what's going to be very unsatisfactory endings.
Okay.
I don't see. I want to see winners. We're going to go to Double or Nothing.
Yes. I'm excited for that.
I'm going to be excited for that.
Yes.
There's going to be that Pillars match, the 4 Pillars match, and I
amazing.
hope that there's something good because I don't think MJF is going to lose.
Sure.
So you have to have MJF win in a way that still puts everybody over.
Right. You got to make everybody look good.
And then we've got WWE where they're introducing a lot of guys from NXT.
Okay.
They introduced JD McDonough, and I'm like, I don't care.
Is that Finn Balor light?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they introduced him in a stupid way. They had a battle royale in which he lost, obviously. He wasn't the main story. And then they do his little promo after he loses his match.
Oh.
You want to do the promo before the match begins.
Okay. And why is that?
Well, it'd be like saying, here's Marcus Dietz. Marcus Dietz hails from Las Vegas, Nevada, blah, 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 blah. But after you just spilled in the ring.
Oh, okay.
You trip, you ever remember the Titus O'Neil when they were doing Royal Rumble and he ran into the ring? He
ran right into the ring.
And he slid under the ring apron.
Yeah.
And then,
killed himself.
Right. So imagine doing that, but then a second later, you're going to cut a promo for him. Why would you do that?
I don't know. To let people laugh at the guy who just almost decapitated himself. Be like, yeah, his name's Titus. That's Titus.
Yep.
That's what Titus does.
Yep.
He almost kills himself running to the ring. Yeah.
Out of here.
All right.
Now you're a brand ambassador. That means that he sits in his room on the weekend playing with himself until he gets called up. Titus, we need a black guy. Get out there and make us look good.
WWE doesn't have enough black guys. They need another one.
No, but they need like a free black guy.
Oh, okay. A free black guy, Rob. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we can't be using them slaves anymore, can we?
They told me that was a bad thing.
They told me I'm not allowed. All right. That's terrible.
Linda, look into that one.
Is there just nothing interesting going on with WWE right now?
WWE. What can I say about WWE?
Is there a way to switch those two graphics to where AEW is behind me and WWE is behind you? Because
I'm telling you,
like,
yeah, boy, here we go again.
I just feel like the guy who's been supporting AEW this entire time should have AEW on his side, and then the guy who's just a newbie to loving AEW.
What are you talking about? I've been watching since
you've been watching, but you've been a WWE mark since
I complain
7,
about
so.
If we're going to talk about the hates wrestling, it's WWE in the hates wrestling portion.
Well,
of
then this show should be called Rob and Marcus Hate Sports Entertainment.
Yeah, anyway, you're getting off. Getting off topic.
I'm getting off topic.
Anyways. Yeah.
Okay, so I saw something. I don't watch the product. So I saw something about Roman and Sikoa going for the titles.
Yeah, this is
that going to happen? Are they going to win the titles?
They're not going to win the titles. It's the opportunity. What they're setting it up for is for there to be a formal fracture in the bloodline where Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa are feuding with the Usos. All of what's going on in WWE right now is to distract people from the obvious that they introduced this World Heavyweight belt and that we're going to take people off of the train and put them on the Triple H train. And because Roman, for all intents and purposes, he should have come out and cut a promo and said, I am the champion of everything. Because it's stupid at this point for him to come out on SmackDown with 2 belts.
I am the women's champion. I am the cruiserweight champion. I am the tag team champion.
Well, minus the women's belt. That's what what's his name did. Bobby Lashley did that in Impact Wrestling.
Sure.
He took everything.
Yeah.
But the point is Roman has the belts that matter, and now those belts don't mean what they do, and he should have come out and addressed it. He didn't address it. What he's been doing is staring at the
new title.
He's been staring at the new title. Now, the thing was that Raw had an invasion through Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman comes in, and because there's the brand split, Paul Heyman has on his cell phone a sticker that says Raw Visitor. And Paul Heyman is just watching, and he's observing. He's watching the Usos match, not the Usos match, the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens match.
Okay.
Because, of course, they want to bring the belts home.
Right.
But the only thing I can surmise from that is maybe they do bring those belts to SmackDown, and then what ends up happening is the Usos challenge for the belts.
Okay.
And then the Usos eventually beat, Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. I don't know. I really don't know where they're going with that. That's the only thing that would make sense. But again, WWE says, oh, wait a minute. Does that make sense? Okay, we're going to do the opposite. Going to do the opposite.
Yeah, let's just do the opposite of what everybody wants.
Are you upset that we swerved you again?
Yeah, I haven't watched.
You're still watching?
I think it's been about 7 or 8 months since I watched WWE, and it's nice because there's just like,
you know what you sound like?
I have free time.
You know what you sound like?
I have like free time now.
You sound like a drug addict who's like, you know what? I'm so glad I'm clean. It's been 7 months now.
It's been 7 months since my addiction.
You've got a few tokens in your hand. You're like, yeah.
I'm just like holding on to those.
Yeah.
Just those counting the days that I don't watch WWE products. Like I said, Triple H, Buddy Old Pal.
I sent links in all directions to our friends, and one of them said, "Hey, I don't have time tonight." Another one said, "You sent me a link to watch you talk about wrestling."
That's hilarious. Does that person not know you?
It's Bruce Leonard.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Hi, Bruce.
Yeah.
Hello, Bruce.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna.
You're not gonna you're not gonna support our podcast. We support your open mic. Oh, and usually I gotta like pay money because I'm there. I gotta like buy a drink or buy some tacos or something. So
yeah,
and this is free.
Yeah,
this is free support.
You don't even.
All right. Anyway, back to the
action. That's the Vegas comedy scene. People too lazy to even do free things.
Yeah, they can't even help their buddies out. That's why we
just click the like and subscribe button.
Just ignore us. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's the idea with most of these channels. Click the like and subscribe button, and then you can ignore us.
Yeah, then you can ignore us. We just want the numbers. We don't want any interaction. All right.
But this is actually, we kind of buried the lead.
What kind of lead did we bury?
Today is the official Dipple official launch of the YouTube page.
Yes. This is it. This is the we officially made one YouTube channel that we can have all of our podcasts on, and we can have all of our content that we make, and we can continue to have one spot where everybody can meet up together and ignore us. So
instead of me having to drive out to a random bar to be ignored.
Yes, we can do it in Rob's home. This is nice.
Oh my goodness! No, it's been a good week.
Is there anything good going on in WWE right now?
I watched.
Popped you.
There was nothing that caught my attention. The only thing is, right now they're going to have Christ, he's so forgettable. The wrestling Gunther for the Intercontinental title. Mustafa Ali is going to wrestle.
That guy's still got a job. He didn't like passively quit enough to get out of there.
They had a battle royale. He won. And the big thing
go.
About that was he ran around the ring like he won the Royal Rumble, or he ran around the ring like he won
his virginity back.
Yeah, it was just bad.
Yeah,
it was because there's nothing making me believe that he's going to get through Imperium and Gunther, which Gunther on his own is a savage son of a bitch.
Isn't the guy like 7 foot tall?
Yeah, he's savage. He's not gonna be beaten by Ali. But you know what? All right, my brain just went to a really dark place.
Oh no.
What if they put him in there so there's a kind of Arabic looking person for Saudi Arabia?
Okay.
For Rita, I can never pronounce it. Rita, wherever the frick they're in Saudi Arabia. Don't kill me over it.
I don't know what you're talking
about. So Crown Jewels is going to be the next pay-per-view.
Yes.
And that's where they're going to crown.
I hear Sammy's going there for the first time. Because he's Syrian. I was reading something. He's Syrian, and they recently made friends. Now I wouldn't say friends. We'll
see.
Some sort of alliance or some sort with Syria. So.
Other than that, or just Triple H and Vince just dumped a lot of money at both of them. I want you to do the makeup. We gotta have this match.
Yeah, we need Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia.
You know what? I'm curious what kind of response he would get, because this could be like an international incident.
It could. I mean, people could love him or they could not. All right, let's get to what I want to talk about.
All right.
Last week, AEW, we were both kind of like watching AEW. I was a little farther behind than you were, and you texted me something, or it was like in the group chat. I want to pull it up real quick.
All Elite Rob and Markus.
All Elite. All right. So let me find the group chat. You said something like,
what did I say?
Holy shit. With Don Callis did tonight.
Yes.
Holy shit. And then I go, hold on, I'm watching LMAO. And then my next text to you was, damn, Don, period. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what happened on AEW Dynamite last week. It was Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley in a cage match. It was a very interesting, good, entertaining match. They had a good exchange.
And
then there was a screwdriver.
Baby.
There was a screwdriver brought in. Can you wheel that up a little bit? Yes. See, he's got like a screwdriver in his hand, and he attacked Kenny Omega. Long time. These guys have been long time friends. How long have they been friends, would you say?
20 years.
20 years.
Like his whole career.
Yeah.
The way he refers to Don Callis as Mr. Callis, it's almost still like almost like a young boy.
It's almost like a father figure situation with him. And he this was unexpected. Listen, I got two opinions about this, I think.
And I agree with them.
I don't think you're gonna agree with both of them.
Well, I agree. May I burst the bubble and say what I think one of them you mentioned to me was?
Sure.
You came at this from the perspective of he wants Kenny to be the belt collector. He wants Kenny to be Savage again, the cleaner. Sure. He wants the cleaner, and the only way to get the cleaner is he's got to slap him around a little bit.
He's got to waken him up to the reality of things. Sure, I mean, yeah, I think that could be part of it. Did I enjoy this thing? Yes. Did I think it was necessary? Yes. Did I like that it happened? Does it change things up a little bit? Yes. Did I think this was the right time for this to happen? Absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. Why did this random, huge thing, like look at this picture that he's about to post. This is a very emotional moment.
That tells you all you need to know, though, that backs up that statement that he's trying to straighten him out.
He's trying to get to him.
Right.
He's trying to get in his head and let him know, hey, we got to switch things up a little bit.
But also look at it like.
But here's the thing. Yeah. Did it have to happen on a random Wednesday Dynamite? That's my issue with this. This is my issue with AEW. This is my issue with Tony Khan. This is my issue with professional wrestling right now. Sometimes things jump the shark. Would I have liked to seen something like this happen at AEW Double or Nothing live in Las Vegas, where I will be live watching the show? Yes. Do I think that would make more sense for something as monumentous as this event would be to happen at a pay-per-view or a bigger event? Yes. Why did it happen at a random Dynamite? What if that Dynamite happened to be not watched so much because there's a baseball game on or something? Like, why did such a story-driven large event thing happen on a random Dynamite?
I'm gonna take the high road and be positive, and I'm not a positive person.
Rob is not a positive person.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna take the high road. Maybe that is why they did that. Because well, no, not even the ratings. Well, yeah, the ratings, but in other words, in the sense that they go, oh, all right, we're locked at 800,000. Sure. AEW is plateaued at 800,000 viewers every week.
Okay.
No matter how hard they do, no matter how good of a story they write, and I think WWE's got momentum, but I think a lot of what they write is schlock. It's not good. So AEW is like, we're going to do something. We're going to do a massive swerve, and we're hoping that people are going to talk about it. We're hoping that people now are going to go, whoa, I missed something really big.
Okay.
I'll give you an example of something along those lines. Years ago, Impact Wrestling had James Storm as the champion.
Okay.
And the Cowboy James Storm, sorry about your bad luck. He had a match, and it was a friendly match against Bobby Roode for the Impact belt, TNA belt.
And their buddies still at this time, right?
Yeah. I don't know now because Bobby Roode's off in La La Land, and James Storm's pretty much retired.
Well, I mean, at this point in Impact, were they friends? Buddy old pals?
Oh yeah. Okay. The idea is that Bobby Roode's like, it's my time, but I want to challenge you. And James Storm said, hey, we're beer money. Great. We'll do this.
Yes.
Now, my DVR stopped on the hour, and this match went over 5 minutes. And what did I miss?
Oh, no, you missed it.
Bobby Roode takes one of James Storm's beer bottles and smacks him over the head with it. James Storm had the belt for 1 week. He got it off Kurt Angle. He had the belt for 1 freaking week. He was only ever the TNA champion for like 1 week.
Damn.
So I went, holy crap. And then I was just...
And then you felt like you had to watch next week's episode.
Exactly. So now if I missed this ending, now would I have liked the element for something like this? And I was watching years ago, there was a British promotion called What Culture Pro Wrestling. And ironically enough, Jim Ross was the host 6 years ago. Okay. He was one of the announcers. And you could see traces of his work back from Attitude Era. He was screaming, he was yelling. He wasn't at full speed, but he was there. He was like 50% capacity, and he was going, "Wow, goddamn it!" Now, if I could have gotten that Jim Ross, for something like this, that's what was missing from this. But as far as the timing, if you do it on, I think they did a smart thing, because if you do it on the pay-per-view, it's expected. Okay, big swerve, big results.
Is it expected though?
No, well, no, but in other words,
you expect something to happen.
Yeah, I want something to happen. The only thing I don't like what AEW does is the idea that they just kind of throw a cage match out of nowhere without giving it a bigger build-up. Sure. If you would have told me 2 weeks earlier, we have to resolve this, we're going to do it. We're going to do it one of our TV pay-per-views, like when they did Bash at the Beach, or something like that, where they're setting it up. By the way, what happens to Bash at the Beach now? Who owns that? Because that was Cody. But anyways, we're going to do it at one of these big televised ones, and we're going to give it like TNA would do Genesis, and they would do it on the TV instead of. Okay, that could have been to what you're saying. They didn't. They just kind of just came out of nowhere with it.
They just kind of did it.
But was it good?
Sure.
Fuck yes.
Absolutely.
Does it?
They had us texting.
Oh my God.
And you don't like to text. You like to call. I'll text you. I'll text Rob, and I'll be like, hey, easy, simple question. Should I go left or right on this road? And he'll call me. And he'll call me and he'll talk to me for 3 minutes, and then he'll like, I'm
the generational gap.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm a texter. I don't like talking to people.
Yeah.
I don't like my voice. I don't know why I'm doing this podcast. I really just, it was something that had me thinking, and I was like, wow, this is cool. I'm glad this happened.
Yes.
I'm glad that.
But now here's the thing.
It was entertaining. It was, jaw dropping a little bit. It was cool.
It gives you the opportunity.
Was it the right time?
It gives you the opportunity to go now to that next thing. In other words, it gives you the opportunity to make the pay-per-view even bigger.
Well, tonight is the last Dynamite before. No,
it's the second to last.
Second to last Dynamite before the pay-per-view here in town, and I just feel like, I don't know. Do we have, how many set matches do we have for Double or Nothing? Do we have the whole card figured out? Is it all booked?
No, I don't think it's all booked.
Okay. So it's interesting to kind of see now that there's only Dynamite. We talked about this last week. They currently canceled Rampage and Dark.
They canceled Rampage? I thought it was just Dark and Elevation.
Dark and Elevation, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're not going to get rid of Rampage.
Okay. Dark and Elevation have been canceled, so that's less TV time for story building and such. So how are we, where is this going to go? Is all I want to know. I just want to know how this affects Double or Nothing. How this affects the big pay-per-view happening in less than 2 weeks.
The thing is, this is where I'm kind of confused.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't. And I'm not fishing for an answer. What do you feel that they did the Blackpool Combat Club feud with the Elite well? I feel like it was kind of loosely done.
Was this supposed to be the end of it?
I don't know. That's what I don't understand. In other words, I never saw battle lines. They did they did this stuff where the Young Bucks came in, but we don't have Hangman Adam Page. The Young Bucks didn't do anything. They didn't. They fought at the beginning of the match, but then they disappeared at the end. I don't know. I just don't have this, like, I don't have a feeling like I'm like, yes, this is the feud of feuds. I don't feel like this is a WCW versus NWO type thing. I don't feel like this is, I'm not getting that feeling. In the same way that WWE tried to do the Judgment Day versus the LWO.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at the Latin World Order and going, I don't feel like these guys are really a faction. I feel like these guys are just something
thrown together.
Yeah. I mean, one of the guys in the LWO isn't even Latin. He's Filipino. And he doesn't speak and he doesn't even speak, and he has mic skills. So but to this point, I don't know that. I've always said this, and I stand by it. AEW's problem is they have too many goddamn factions.
You can never have too many factions. Come on.
WWE has
faction wars are my favorite thing.
WWE has the LWO. They have the
Judgment Day.
The Judgment Day, and they have the Bloodline. That's basically it. And then you have the Imperium.
Imperium.
And then there's Imperium. But that's a trio.
They got New Day.
No, there's no New Day.
The two members of New Day.
They don't even have that. There's no more New Day. It's just Xavier Woods on his own now, because the rest of New Day is injured. So, and they're not. And
you hear that, Trips? You hear that, Triple H? We need more factions.
Okay, I'm going to saturate it with factions.
That's fine with me. I don't care.
My Triple H sounds almost exactly the same as
your Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they are the same person.
Yeah, Vince McMahon. You know what? It's like Get Out. Vince McMahon just corkscrews some wrestler's brains open and shoves his in there.
6/17 Collision. It's going to be the first episode of Collision. It's a Saturday program. AEW Collision.
Are you ready for your AEW's version of Sunday Night Heat?
Sure.
It's going to be Saturday.
There is expected to be a hard brand split. And let's talk about it as well, because
sure.
Yes.
When you say hard brand split for them, what does that mean for AEW terms?
Well, there's people. There's a lot of people in AEW. There's too many people.
This is true.
So if you had some sort of split where we can have, some people's storylines happening on this show, some people's storylines happening on a different show, brand splits are good. Speaking of brand splits, last episode of Dynamite, we had the return of Miro, who we haven't seen in since last year. And Thunder Rosa and Miro returned to Dynamite this last week. So they're expected to be higher members of Collision's roster. I think people are kind of pushing that. Also, my main man Phil Brooks.
Wait a minute.
He goes.
Wait a minute. You skewered me last week for using real names.
Yeah, but also that's also his, like, in UFC he used Phil Brooks.
No. He's CM Punk, Chick Magnet Punk,
championship material Punk. Either way, he's still rumored to be the big return for Collision, so that'll be nice to see his return. Maybe they can keep him away from Jericho and the Young Bucks, and everything will be all right.
Oh my God!
Do you miss the Nexus?
No, I just looking at a picture on my computer, and the Nexus came up, and oh my God, no, I don't miss them at all. They were tacky as hell.
Oh, they were all right. They weren't so bad. Tony Khan has a big announcement tonight. On Dynamite. Do you think that's going to have anything to do with Collision?
I think it might have to do with Wembley.
Well, it might be a big.
Collision's not a big announcement. Collision is just,
hey, more TV time, baby.
You gotta do it the Tony Khan way. You gotta do it where your eyes are. All right, guys. Hi, I'm totally not doing drugs. Hi, Tony Khan here. Tonight we have big news about Wembley and Collision.
All right, this podcast is almost over, and I am excited. With Collision coming out on Saturday, that means we're going to have pro wrestling on Saturday,
right?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
And I'm also, and on Thursday is
every single day of the week except for Sunday, when that's usually when people have pay-per-views.
I'm sure that's they've been putting pay-per-views on Saturday now.
That's a silly thing to me.
I hate that.
I hate that too.
I just don't get it. I don't like it. It doesn't work for me.
What does it?
That's Saturday, yeah.
A Saturday pay-per-view?
Yeah. By the way, I'm looking at this old picture of Daniel Bryan, and he looks way better without all that goofy. He looks weird with all the stupid over-the-top hair and everything. But anyways. To the point, what do I think he's going to do? It's going to be, he's going to add to the card for Wembley.
Oh, okay.
Has to be.
A big announcement for Wembley, huh?
Yeah.
Sold out?
Yeah.
Sold out announcement?
Yeah. Here's my other question, though.
Sure.
How much of a factor is Ring of Honor at Wembley?
None.
You don't think
it's not a Ring of Honor thing?
Well, that was why I did the question. I posed that question because I wanted to be. I basically my question for you is, okay. So, do you defend the belt, the Ring of Honor belt? Does that play into it? Is the Ring of Honor belt separate, or are we doing?
It's not a Ring of Honor event.
No, you're absolutely right. But then do you do a Ring of Honor pay-per-view leading up to that around that same weekend? How much money does he put into Ring of Honor is basically what I'm getting at.
Well, Ring of Honor is supposed to be its own promotion.
Yes, but they're being vague about that. They're being very vague about that. You've got Prince Nana and the what is that? The Swerve Strickland running around and doing their things with the Mogul affiliates. You've got Brian Cage, who has no fucking mic skills whatsoever. He's just empty muscles running around. And the guy looks great, and he'll probably look like that for another 10 years, whatever. But they interchangeably run around between AEW and Ring of Honor. So if you're going to do that,
Yeah, I'm a brand split kind of guy. I think we should just split brands rosters and have people set in their own things, their own storylines, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if they're. It seems to me a little bit like they're treating ROH like a side like a B show, like SmackDown used to be treated. Remember when SmackDown was the B show, and they would like talk about it being the B show, and it would just be like a separate thing, but it was just like not cared about as much. You know, it's just like whatever happens over there can just happen over there.
You've got Athena over there, and she's the women's champion still.
And that's my problem. Is like Ring of Honor the return of Ring of Honor was supposed to be like this big thing.
It wasn't.
And it was supposed to be a big ordeal, and it was supposed to be.
It doesn't even look like the Ring of Honor. It looks like, to me, that logo, that Ring of Honor logo, looks like, and just no offense to you, it looks like something you could have slapped together in 5 seconds. It looks like they went, oh, we got it. We forgot. Yeah, here we go. Splat.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's not what I thought it was going to be.
Here's what I'd do if I was Tony Khan. If I had the billions of dollars and I was running my own show and I was doing my own thing, that's what I would do. I would hire,
that is lazy.
Yes, I would hire McGinnis or whatever, the guy who can't wrestle anymore due to injuries or whatever. I would just hire somebody, maybe Samoa Joe, somebody, and I'd say, look, we're going to treat this like WCW in the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a blank check. I'm going to let you just kind of do whatever you want with it. Do something cool with ROH for me. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have to like stress about it or whatever. You're in charge of ROH. Here's a blank check. Make something cool.
I've always said this. The flames behind me, I want AEW to be able to beat out Raw or SmackDown. I was watching 2 different review shows.
Okay.
Outside of our own, and one was with Bully Ray, and the other one was with Simon Miller. And the reason why I bring them up, we're going to be bigger than them, but the reason why I bring them up is because they had 2 completely opposite viewpoints of Monday Night Raw. One thought it was underwhelming, and the other one thought it was great.
Let me guess. Bubba Ray thought it was great.
No.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised.
Simon Miller was like, oh, this is great, and I'm giving it a 10 out of 10, blah, blah, blah.
No way. Really?
And Bully Ray was like, all right, so you put in a sheer the new Indian tag team, and you had them wrestle enhancement talent and squash them in 3 seconds. Why would you not put them somebody against a relevant tag team that's not doing anything like the Viking Raiders? And that was Bully's take. Have them go up against somebody real and squash them, and then you go, oh my God, these guys are a big deal.
Well, then, but then, what about the team that they squashed?
No, and he talked about that, because then he goes, fine. Now the Viking Raiders have something to do. You give them something to do, where they go, well,
something to be mad about,
right? Instead of having them squash enhancement talent, whereas Simon Miller went, oh, this is great. We need them to squash more enhancement talent for 2 or 3 weeks, and then they can wrestle someone real. And I'm like, yeah, but you did this already. They did this the last time when they brought Jinder Mahal's crew in. They squashed losers, local talent. They squashed them, and then when they had to fight real guys, by that point nobody cared. And they got rid of Shanky.
Sounds like boring.
It's boring,
half-ass writing.
And that's what Bubba Ray was saying. He was like, dude, this is lazy. You've done this kind of crap before. It doesn't work. We don't like it. We don't get behind that. You have real talent. Use the real talent to face the real talent. Don't waste our time. And that's so my thing is with AEW is you've got a lot of talent in AEW. And there's so much talent at AEW that
they almost have too much talent.
Yes. Like WWE deliberately backburners people. They give them a 3-month storyline and they squash them. What AEW does is they'll give them a 2-week storyline, not use them. 3 weeks, not use them for a while.
Well, they want to see what fizzles and what works, and that's how they test it.
You gotta. In other words, there's never ever a time where you're not going to use Nick and Matt Jackson.
Right.
They're always going to be in the hunt. Even when they had that whole blow up with the EVP thing and CM Punk, they were back within 3 months. They gave them time to heal. I'm certain they also needed that time to recoup because they're workhorses. You're never going to have a show without Moxley in there. There's a lot of core guys that they're always going to rely on. The pillars are always going to be relied on.
Chris Jericho,
right? You're going to have the Blackpool Combat Club always, and those members will be in there. Wheeler Yuta is a workhorse. You're going to always have the JAS, and they might take people in and out. I think the guys that joined onto the JAS, they'll leave eventually. They will eventually leave. But you're always going to have Sammy Guevara. You're always going to have Jake Hager in the background. They don't know what to do with him, but they always use him.
He'll always get some TV time.
You'll always get Dustin Rhodes. He won't do some big retirement. He'll just disappear and then reappear once in a while. Keith Lee, they're using him, but here's the thing: the way they're using him is they're stirring a pot and they're putting a bunch of ingredients in, but the ingredients are not making a soup. They're just individual things. Does that make sense?
Yes.
There's nothing congealing. There's nothing forming to anything. They have the QTV. Okay, so you're doing this QTV thing, and that's funny, but you got Solo. Aaron Solo is just in the background. They've got the Australian chick who's just Titties McGee in the background. You've got Hobbs still doing the Book of Hobbs, where he's trying to be dramatic, but then at the same time, you're doing the QTV thing simultaneously as you're doing the Book of Hobbs. So is Hobbs a dramatic guy, a serious wrestler, or is he a comedic wrestler? I don't know, because you're doing both gimmicks at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, decide. Figure out what we're going to do.
Because she's interviewing him as QTV, and she's being all smarmy about it, and he's sitting there reading this little Bible he wrote. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You can't be both.
No.
You're doing both at the same time. It doesn't work.
No.
That's the only problem with AEW is there's no cohesion. WWE, ironically enough, they do have cohesion.
Maybe they have too much cohesion.
Well, no, but WWE's problem is they're writing great storylines, and then they get to the top and they fuck it all up.
They don't know what to do with it.
Well, no, they knew what they had to do with it. They deliberately went in the other direction. I've said this a million times before. All they had to do is give Cody Rhodes the fucking belt. Now, if you wanted to give Cody Rhodes the belt and you wanted to make that new World Heavyweight Championship, all you had to do was make that belt. Roman Reigns walks off into the sunset with his two belts on his shoulder. Cody Rhodes comes out on Monday Night Raw, and they present him with the new gold belt. And they go, you now get to wrestle everyone that Roman Reigns wrestled for over the 3 years and make new, fresh storylines. That would have been easy. Then you go into Puerto Rico, and you have Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest, and I believe it. And I believe it, and it sells, and I believe it. And Damian Priest comes out there, and Bad Bunny is in Damian Priest's corner, and that puts Damian Priest over as a face for Puerto Rico. And it was so easy. It writes itself, and it was easy, enjoyable storytelling, not the shit we were given.
And where WWE refuses to give us that.
AEW, on the other hand, will go, all right, dude, we're going to give you this amazing story. We're going to write it up in 1 week. Huh? Well, couldn't you have built up to this? Couldn't you have built up to Don Callis fucking over Kenny Omega?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Couldn't they have built up to that?
But I don't
had it at the pay-per-view.
But I don't disagree in what you're saying.
A random Wednesday, a random Dynamite.
Okay, this was a big deal. This was a huge deal. But I wanted a build up, and the problem I had with this moment is kind of what you're saying. I agree with you 90% of the way. I don't mind that they did it on Wednesday. I mind that it came out of nowhere. In other words, if I missed that show, great, I missed it. And to what I said earlier, I'm kind of contradicting myself. But yes, I could come back to it and go, damn it, I missed it. I got to watch.
Damn it, I missed it. I got to go watch.
But here's the problem. The opposite of what I'm saying is true, though. What's going to happen is they're going to do this again. They're going to have incredible moments sprinkled around, and they're just going to be random.
Yes.
And the randomness of AEW is killing them.
Yes. Have big spots when we're expecting them. AEW, thank you.
You're killing us with
Don't
this.
give us random crazy shit
And
on a random Wednesday when people are listening to the podcast.
Yeah, and then AEW. By the way, I mean WWE. Stop fucking us over. Give people what they want. The Triple H way of doing things is I've heard the fans, and now I'm going to go in the opposite direction because I despise my fans. And if I met the guy, and you gave me an opportunity now because you said it. If I met Paul Levesque because you already used Phil Brooks.
Oh God, it's your one.
That's my one.
That's your one.
If I were to meet him and I would go, dude, you've done this to us with Bryan Daniel. When the guy was over as hell, you made a what was it, a SummerSlam triple threat match, and you gave it to him, but you gave him the belt under duress. You had Stephanie come out there and call him a B player. He was never more over than he was going to be. And you guys consistently milked the crowd. You put somebody over, and then you pull the rug out from under them. Once in a while, somebody who's over just needs to win. Yes. That's it. Cody Rhodes, what I know what's going to happen here.
Sometimes it's okay to have the guy that's over win.
This is what's going to happen with Cody Rhodes. You're going to milk the shit out of him with this Brock Lesnar garbage. You're going to milk the shit out of him, make him go up against every heel imaginable, but he won't have the belt when he does it. And then when he does get the belt, I won't care because you've already had him wrestle all these guys. You already had him wrestle every bad guy in your company. So there's nothing left for him to do when he gets the belt. It's a waste.
I think the only way they could properly use Cody now that they decided not to give him the belt is have him like MJF, where he's kind of an attraction.
But he's good MJF, and I don't want good MJF. MJF is
I mean, how rare he wrestles.
But he can do it. You invested a lot of money into rehabbing this guy.
Sure.
You invested a lot of money into his shoulder surgery. Now, I don't know if the storyline is that, behind the scenes he's really injured, but then you have Brock Lesnar ragdolling him. So all you're doing is taking Cody and you're making him less and less viable. All you're doing is chipping away at him. It irritates the fuck out of me. If you wanted to have Brock Lesnar fuck him over at WrestleMania 40, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. You want to fuck him over at WrestleMania 40, good. Good. Great. I'm all for that. I am all for that. You have so many other better ways to do it. In the same way that Markus is saying, hey, why did you waste that Kenny Omega spot on a random night? Why are you taking premium live events and botching the endings? And to me, not giving him a belt at this juncture is a botch because he has to go into WrestleMania 40 with momentum. I want him to have a belt for a year, fight off the Usos, fight off Roman Reigns, fight off all these bad guys, and go into WrestleMania 40, the shiny, smiling, beautiful guy with the beautiful wife and the beautiful kid, the interracial relationship with this beautiful black woman and the beautiful blonde hair, blue eyes, white guy. Get rid of the word on the corner of his eye that's distracting. Maybe get him some elocution lessons. He can't say anything with an S in it. But get him looking as shiny, he can't say shiny, as shiny as possible, but make him as beautiful as you could make him. Okay? Give him what you've been doing with The Miz. The Miz comes out with the suits and he looks amazing. Have him come out looking as amazing as you fucking could possibly make him, and then screw him.
Isn't that the only reason why he came back to WWE was to win the title?
That's what we were told. That's what we were fucking told.
That was the whole storyline was, hey, I'm coming back.
And then I'm
going to do this for my dad.
Dipshit Paul say. Dipshit Triple H goes, oh, you said it twice. Dipshit Triple H goes, the story isn't over yet.
I don't think I said it twice.
You did, but it's okay.
You're a son of a bitch for that.
Triple H.
We have a new rule as of this moment right now.
No using real names.
Don't use real names.
Kayfabe only. Okay.
Thank you.
Triple H.
Somebody's going to keep kayfabe alive around here.
That's fair.
Yeah. Anyway.
How's Jody doing?
He's good, I think. He's been busy.
Will we see him in July?
I don't. Listen.
Too ahead. I'm ahead of the game.
You're too ahead of the game.
All right.
I don't know if
all right.
things are going to go as planned.
Is there a belt?
I mean, Jody has the belt.
Are you going to do a Montreal screw job?
No, absolutely not. We would never do that to one of our guys. We would never Vegas screw job our guys.
You're not going to be sitting there going,
Why would
that was what Vince McMahon did when they did the screw job.
You just dropped 2 people from our live thing with that.
I'm sorry.
Terrible. So I've been watching something I've been watching a lot lately. I'm on like episode 10, I think. The Monday Night Wars documentary that WWE put out, telling the story of the Monday Night Wars. And what I've gotten from every single episode of the Monday Night Wars documentary that WWE produced.
Yeah, of course. So they're going to make themselves look amazing.
Is Hulk Hogan is a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, because he never wanted to be in a situation where he would drop a belt or lose to anyone or not be the face. When he fought The Rock, that was a great example of that because he has to be over. So how do you go about making the Brahma Bull the bad guy?
How?
And that was the question. And The Rock drew boos.
How?
You don't remember that match?
I don't remember that match. I didn't care for it. I skipped it.
The Rock came out there and Hogan was over and The Rock was over, but then when they
he doing the NWO, the return of the NWO? Was he doing Hollywood Hogan?
No, by that point he was regular Hogan.
Okay.
And they just had regular Hogan go against The Rock, and The Rock was drawing boos, and he was doing the old, the iguana thing where he looks around like a lizard in all directions and you can't believe.
Yeah, but every single episode of this show,
but I believe it,
was talking about how just Hulk Hogan had creative control and he didn't want to do this, he didn't want to do that, he didn't want to do this. People talk about a lot of people in this business being selfish. Like,
I stand corrected.
A lot of people are selfish and they're
he was Hollywood.
He was Hollywood Hogan. They were doing the NWO thing because the NWO came backstage one time and he was like, I want an autograph for my kids.
Oh, no, but there was another one.
Oh, so they did it twice.
They did it twice because The Rock did wrestle him.
So that time he must have
Yeah. This is what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hold on.
Look at that face from The Rock. That's great.
Yeah, because
looks like he's about to have a glizzy.
Right. A glizzy.
A hot dog.
Oh. Yeah, but that was a time when The Rock was starting to. They were trying to make him the heel, and it wasn't working.
How do we feel about Rock being heel? You didn't like him in Nation of Domination?
No, but there wouldn't have been The Rock that we know and love without the Nation of Domination. So It was good. But that's the thing. Rock proved that you could just keep going, and you eventually turn the crowd. But he didn't change.
No.
And that's why I don't like to see him now.
He eventually got over because he just kept doing it. He kept at it.
Now, I'm not breaking kayfabe when I say this. When he comes out, he's not The Rock when he shows up these days. I don't like when he shows up and he's all humble and all. I know he doesn't have to do the whole persona. I know he doesn't have to. But I'd prefer it if when he came out, he stayed in character. But that was a terrible match.
Yeah,
it was terrible because by that point, Hogan was beat the hell up and he couldn't wrestle like he used to. I mean, first of all, Hulk Hogan was like 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
Because of all the leg drops and everything he was doing and God knows what drugs, he basically destroyed himself. They had to operate on his back. They took 3 inches off him.
Oh.
They took like segments out of his spine.
Can you imagine being 6'6" and now you're 6'3"? That would suck. I'd be upset about life too.
Yeah, but yeah.
So I mean, 2 people ruined WCW. 2 people. Hulk Hogan, obviously, and my good man Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. Oh my God! I don't know if we could show that.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's what they did to him. They had to like rebuild his spine.
because of all the times he fell on his ass doing the leg drop,
Well, yeah, that and yeah.
compressed his spine.
Yes, he compressed his spine.
Oh God, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I'm not gonna post that one.
Kids don't do leg drops.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people. There's just but that's
Yeah, so I've been watching Monday Night Wars, and ECW had its own episode, which was cool. Vince was keeping ECW alive for a little bit. There was always that rumor that that's what was happening, and it was always kind of denied by Heyman. But Vince saw ECW as a developmental,
right.
in a way to bring in new. There was times when WCW would hire somebody, and then WWF would hire somebody, and WCW would hire somebody, and it would almost like deplete the ECW roster. They almost had like nobody wrestling for them anymore because everybody was going. But yeah, I enjoyed watching that. I've been watching that a lot lately.
Did you watch Dark Side of the Ring?
I've watched a few episodes.
I
watched the New Jack episode.
God, was just stabbing people.
Yes, doing a bunch of cocaine. He was proud of it too. He was like, "I'm the only one in the locker room doing this cocaine, and then I'm out here stabbing people."
Oh my God!
I watched the New Jack episode. I watched the plane ride from hell.
Plane ride from hell. Yes.
I watched.
They almost killed all. They literally almost all died.
I watched the Chris Benoit episode.
That's sad.
I watched a few episodes.
The Chris Benoit one. We have a mutual friend named Dier, and he aspiring wrestler. I don't know what direction he's going to go. He's getting a little older. He's got to decide. But he feels like Chris Benoit got screwed over in life. And you can make that argument that, the injuries and all the headbutts and everything that he did with the flying dives and everything that obviously it screwed him up. But he's like, look, he should not have been erased from WWE. What do you think about that? They did erase him.
This is always a tough subject for me to talk about because it's like, we got to take in account that the guy murdered people.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a thing you have to take into account when talking about this. It sucks that a person got completely erased. Like they don't talk about them. There's never going to be footage anywhere with them anymore. Stuff like that. It's kind of insane, and it sucks that kind of happened to a guy who obviously loved the business and put his heart into the business and was kind of a big part of the business at that time. But again, the guy murdered people.
Yeah.
What
about China? Because she was kind of erased too.
And that was for different reasons, right?
Right. Well, you know what it is. It's Triple H was on he was on the Stone Cold podcast.
Okay.
And Stone Cold brought it up and he goes, I don't want my kids seeing a porn star and then finding out that I dated her. That was a scummy thing.
That is a wild thing to what? Who cares? First off,
she left of her own accord.
Yeah, who cares? If somebody decides to do sex work, that's on them. You know what I mean?
She made like 2 or 3 videos, and then that was it. And she did one Playboy cover. By the way, WWE has women who were in Playboy.
Yes.
So you went one step further.
But
to the sex.
Trips didn't date all them, did he?
No.
That we know of.
No. And she's in the WWE as new D-Generation X, and they tossed her a bone there. But she should be in there as China, the Intercontinental Champion. Not counting that god-awful run she had when she got it, when she was dating Eddie Guerrero, kayfabe. But
did she win a Royal Rumble?
No. Was she in it, or are you asking if she won it?
If she won it.
No. Never won a Royal Rumble. But she's fought dudes and
well, that's what I'm saying.
incredible as hell.
I think as the what is she, the eighth wonder of the world, ninth wonder of the world? I think she should definitely be.
They did. I think they deserve it to do it.
Post-mortem, she should have some.
They'll give it to her. If anything ever happens to Triple H where he's just gone,
yeah,
then all of a sudden you'll find out she gets in there because she more than deserves it.
Yeah, it sucks that somebody would be so selfish and worried about their image that they wouldn't allow somebody to have accomplishments. It's kind of wild to me.
Yeah,
very selfish.
But now we have some other promotions to talk about.
What is that?
Oh, that's an old.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, no. That was from. He saw a banner from Impact Wrestling where it was Sami Callihan and Moose, and I think Chris Sabin.
Yeah, it was somebody from Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, and then versus the Elite.
The Good Brothers and Kenny Omega.
Yeah, Good Brothers weren't ever Elite, but yeah, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. When Kenny Omega had the Impact belt, that was a great time in wrestling. I really enjoyed that. But again, that's another conversation. Let's get over to Impact Wrestling right quick.
Sure, what's going on in Impact?
Impact Wrestling, they're.
Come on, why did we change subjects if it sucks?
Yeah, no. Impact Wrestling, they've got some good stories. They've got Kenny Omega. Why did I just say that? They have Sami Callihan versus the Design.
Okay.
Which was Eric Young's.
Who used to be used to be in, right?
Hmm? Yes, briefly.
Okay.
You know what? The thing is, I think that they did the Sami Callihan was balding, and what he was doing was he had a few scraps of black hair that he just had combed over, and he looked good. I never complained. I think they used it as an opportunity to bald him because leading into it, to join the Design, the term was you had to be bald, which it made no damn sense.
Everywhere. Bald everywhere?
Yeah, sure. I don't want to see Sami Callihan.
All right.
Well, oh my god.
We're at about an hour.
Yeah, that's fine.
We got one viewer. Hi, one viewer. Glad that you're here.
Yeah.
For the 23rd episode of Rob and Markus Hate Wrestling Podcast, the big 2-3, the big Michael Jordan episode.
And that's okay. No, you know what? Because this is the first time that we switched the venue, and we got. I
hope our other viewers, our regular viewers, can find us.
We posted everywhere.
I hope they know where to look.
Yes,
because we usually have at least 5.
And yeah, there was a few guys that didn't, but you know what? That's we're gonna have to post and reach out to them and
promote it a little bit.
But that's.
I am excited for the future of this podcast. Not only next episodes.
And by the way, I want to say something to you.
Oh God!
I want to say something to you.
Witnesses, stay around.
9 out of 10 times. Oh God. 8 out of 10 times. 8 out of 10 times. I like the direction you're going. Your analysis is good.
Sure.
And you have good ideas on Impact Wrestling. They've got a few things going around right now, but there's nothing that's sticking out to me. They have Steve Maclin as a champion. They have Sami Callihan. I'd like to see him get to AEW.
Is he the world champ?
Yeah. Maclin is
the Army guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got no charisma.
I'm tired of the listen. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I love.
And do you think they milk the Army gimmick too much?
Yes, I don't.
Well, he's not doing it as the Army gimmick now. He comes out and he's got the air raid sirens and the machine gun shots and.
Listen, I respect our military. I respect people deciding to fight for our country and the courage that takes and all that good stuff. But if your entire gimmick is I went to Afghanistan 3 times and it's just like, dude,
it's tired.
It's like, all right, man. How,
WWE.
how much do you want me to just? All right.
You're milking it. All right, yes.
Thank you for your service.
And that's not it's not coming off as a dick. It's that you're using your service
every week, man.
You're using your service to try to get over.
Get over. And that's laziness. That's not entertaining.
Hold on. It's what I like to call bad writing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I appreciate every person out there who has done the service,
but if you're using that just to go over, like Impact,
if that's your whole gimmick, is just like I'm a guy in the army and I wanted to be a wrestler since I was a kid, but I chose the army and now I'm a wrestler. It's like, dude,
you know where it failed, and they realized, I guess, quickly it failed. The Undefeated Crimson.
Yeah.
When he was Crimson, he was over. When he came back as a war vet gimmick, that lasted not even a season.
Yeah.
Over. The same thing with what's her name in WWE.
The one that dresses
Southern
like
Belle,
1950s.
Yeah, Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
And so what did they do? They made her the Southern Belle. They had her get knocked up by Ric Flair. Then Ric Flair had to come out and say, "Oh, I realized that was just a joke. I didn't knock her up." Then she came back as a military person, and she was over for a week, and then it died every other city she went to.
Yeah, I mean,
stop doing it.
It's cool. It's cool. Like I said,
you're not even getting cheap pops for it, though.
I appreciate your service. Thank you for doing what you did. Appreciate you.
If you're going to be a wrestler, be a wrestler.
Be a wrestler.
I don't need
your whole gimmick doesn't have to be reminding us every time we see you that you fought in Iraq,
because it doesn't work.
You're
cool. Not going to get anyone to boo you.
Did my buddy down the street. He fought in Iraq.
Well, you know what?
My other buddy went to Afghanistan.
Our friend Dier.
Yeah.
And guess what? When he came out,
and every time I see Dier, he doesn't mention it.
No, you know what the funny thing was? What's not funny? His idea of a gimmick for himself had nothing to do with his service.
Right. I mean, it's just. It's laziness.
It's really lazy writing.
It's lazy writing,
and it always flops.
And it flops.
You know what it is, though? Nobody wants to boo a person who served. So every time they do that, even if they're heels, when the WWE did that with Riker, when he was Gunner from Impact Wrestling, and he was with Macklin, Gunner, and then I forgot the third person in the crew. They didn't get boos.
No,
they just the crowd and WWE. And by the way, WWE still does that. Maybe it's where they either they have a canned booing or canned applause, or they have mics across the arena, and they take the they take the old faders and they crank up the volume on the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the case is, when those three guys came out, they didn't have anything to work with. They didn't have boos. There was no visceral reaction from the crowd. The crowd didn't care. They were called the Forgotten Sons.
Mm-hmm.
So your gimmick was you served the country and everyone forgot about you.
Yeah.
All right. So now you're bitter vets. It's good.
It almost makes it worse.
Yeah. It came off really bad.
It's just like, all right, we get it.
Anyways, don't do that. Stop that.
Stop that. Wrestling.
It's disrespectful to the armed forces, really.
Thank you. It's disrespectful to people that just want to be left alone.
You're here to serve, and you're trying to make a buck off.
A lot of people don't do it for admiration and to get over. So
the way I can describe it, if you live in Las Vegas, and there was a horrible shooting, just before the pandemic.
Like Vegas Strong.
Vegas Strong. Oh my God!
Now it's everywhere. Companies that weren't
Strong.
around when that shooting happened still use
Vegas Strong. Oh my God, how insulting. When I see Vegas Strong for the Golden Knights, I go, wow.
Well, it was, listen, they were a big part of our community.
Yes, getting together. I get that. But you know what? Now you're still doing it. It's no longer in context to what it was originally about.
Yeah.
It's getting a little annoying.
Yeah. So
stop it.
All right. On that note.
No, on another note, it's going to be Tony Khan. We're going to leave in a sec. Tony Khan is going to say that that Wembley's sold out.
Strong.
His gonads are going to explode from all the blow he's done.
Oh man,
he does a lot of blow.
Listen,
He does he does more blow than all of the Las Vegas comedians combined.
Here's the thing. If I was a multi-billionaire, like not just 1 billion, but if I was a multi-millionaire too, I'd do so much cocaine, guys. I would be doing so much I did a lot of cocaine my first year of comedy. I was doing it in weekends a lot, and stuff.
Yeah.
But like the amount of cocaine I would do if I was a billionaire, it would be so much cocaine. It would be so much.
Oh, God. Imagine if we did that during your... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, of all ages, WWE, Markus Kids Wrestling presents... I said the wrong thing. I said the wrong announcement. Markus Kids Wrestling presents the Kraken 90. The Kraken 90. It's really the Kraken 3. But, oh, my God!
Yes. It'd be amazing.
And with that, the phone rings.
And with the phone rings, we're done with this one. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep, and you have
same place, same time. I think we'll be here.
Yes,
we'll be here on the YouTubes.
All right,
like
goodbye.
And subscribe and all that stuff. Help us out, share us. Thank you. We love you. Bye.
Bye.